Hello, this is Steve Malone with ComstFX. Hope you're doing well and you're getting some good trades. I've had a number of people write me and ask me what my thoughts are about what will happen with the dollar yen over the coming days, given a lot of the news that we had last week. Now, if we look at last week, we had the FOMC statement come out, and interestingly, the FOMC is going to conclude quantitative easing 3 or QE3, and they're moving towards a tightening policy in 2015 whereby they will be raising interest rates. This caused a little bit of a push up in the dollar yen. We saw the dollar yen move from about the 108 level and made a push up here to close to that 109 area. And some were looking for a continual push back up towards about the 110 level where it had been previously. Then the shocker came, and that was the BOJ coming out with a quantitative easing package of 80 trillion yen a month. Now, what does that mean? That means $60 billion a month of quantitative easing, and that's to jumpstart the Japanese economy and move it towards a price inflation target of 2%. Now, previously they had tried a sales tax hike to try to get something going, but that fell on its face. So with a quantitative easing measure of 80 trillion yen coming in the marketplace, totally shocked the market and pushed the dollar yen from lows of last week right around the 108 level all the way up to nearly the 112.50 level. I mean, a move of nearly 500 pips in the dollar yen last week. So where do we go from here? Do we look for a retracement? Well, given a 500 pip move, yes, there should be a retracement. But you got to think, who's behind this big move? And that's the BOJ. Do you want to be shorting the dollar yen when the BOJ is making the yen even weaker? I don't know about that. I would rather be looking for buying the dips instead of trying to sell and see if it will push lower. You're going against the central bank. Now, where do we go from here, though, is a thought. Do we go higher? Do we go lower? And if you're actively trading, there's a possibility of trading either way. So let's look at this. If we simply look at last week's high and last week's low, and let's just simply run some fibs from that, from last week's high to low, we can see that the dollar yen had pushed up right to the 127 level and then pushed on up, trying to get up to that 141.4 level at 114.50, failed and got to about the 114.20 area where it was done, and it fell back down. Now, I'm personally looking for the possibility of the market to dip back down. It needs to set a floor before pushing higher. Maybe not much of a floor. I would like to see it push back down somewhere in this area, right around that 112 to 112.40 area. This is the area that I'm looking for a possible floor. If the market continues pushing up higher, though, if we stabilize off of the gap high, we haven't even filled the gap this week. If we hold this 113 area, 112.98, 113, if we hold that area, a number of folks in the marketplace are looking for a push on up to 115. Now, in my opinion, that's a gargantuan of a move of 700 pips going from where we were at, nearly 800 pips, to the possibility of getting up there to that 1618. That's a big move. Now, if you look at this on a monthly basis, we'll step out and look at the monthly basis, from this high that we had back here in 2007 down to the low, we're setting at a 786 retracement. What we're going to be looking for here is, do we push through or do we fail? If we fail at this level, if the market can't sustain this level, then look for the fallback. Now, I don't think we're going to fall all the way back to the 618, which is sitting down here at 105. I don't think that'll happen at all. But I do think there's the possibility that we fall back over if we cannot sustain a continual higher move. So, long story short, when it comes to the dollar yen, look for the close above 114. It holds 114 and it moves higher. If it can't hold that 114 level, then I'm looking from the daily perspective, I'm looking for a drop back down. Let me go back down to hourly here. I'm looking for in that intraday or that inside the daily coming back down into the 112 to about that 112.40 area. Now, what does this mean for the euro yen and the pound yen? I get people asking me about that. You can see here that the euro yen made a pretty good move up, about 420 pips last week, and it pushed right up to that 141.4 level. Now, these levels I've talked about, the 127.2 and the 141.4, these are nothing new to those of you who've been getting my videos. I've talked about these levels, and look how the market's playing them. Now, if this 127.2 level holds, we push on up to 143. Some in the marketplace are even looking for a push higher to 145. Now, my thought is if we do fall back, I'm looking for the fallback to be somewhere between the 140. I'm going to bring this down just a bit. Well, that's the high of last week. I'm going to be looking for right in this area about 140.50 to 140. This is the area that I'm looking for the pullback. I'm looking for the pullback coming into this area. If I simply flip this around,